Let's check it out today. Is there a chance of getting back together recently? There are 3 cards in front of us. Choose one card based on your first intuition. Double-click the card to create a link with it. 2, 1. Have you made a choice? First, let's look at the Gate of Treasures for the first card we choose, and we draw a true north solution. Drawing this card, the chance of you two getting back together recently is actually pretty big. As for the probability of load, in fact, there is a probability of reaching 55% to 65% or more. Why do I say that? Because there might be a deep and effective communication between you two recently. 2 people can actually try to do something. Some self-adjustment, such as realizing that there are some problems in my emotions, the places where I am not doing well, the places where I am not in place, for example. Is my temper too impulsive? Am I too charming or lack of security? So this kind to each other. Feeling will be tired, quite hard, in the interaction. During the process, some frictions and obstacles may occur, including arguments between 2 people, which may lead to realizing problems. Anne is willing to make some adjustments, willing to make some improvements, and try to get along with each other. Become better. Establish a better and deeper effective communication. Really face and solve problems together. The probability of you two getting back together is quite high. It's worth looking forward to. First, you need to adjust your own state. Right. Then you can look at the other person when they have also adjusted their state. And then, the 2 of you together. Work hard to communicate and solve problems. Congratulations. Next, let's take a look at the second card chosen by our treasures. It's a King of Swords card. If you draw this card, what are the chances of you getting back together recently? The chance of a slight revival is a bit slim, perhaps just within a percentage. 25 to 30%. Why? Because at least one of you actually, on a mental level, in your subconscious, there is no real good thought or idea. Go solve some problems that exist between each other, and even the real reason for the separation between you two. The real problem facing the 2 of you and the hindrance have not been clarified. At least one, or even both of you, might not have figured out this issue. That is, you did not form a very good, clear line of thought. Go think carefully about what exactly is the reason for breaking up between the 2 people, or what is the reason for separation, and what should I do? How should I really solve the issues between each other? That is, there is no such idea and thought. This could be more often driven by emotions. You're resisting communication in negative emotions, aren't you? You even don't want to communicate, right? Even don't want to solve the problem. This situation will occur. So the overall composite probability will be affected, and the chances of composition will be affected. Let's look at the third card drawn. It's a treasure. The Health Strength. This card actually reflects that the probability of these 2 people getting back together recently is not particularly high. The probability is probably around 30%. Why do I say that? Because at least one of you, or even both, are not in a good state right now. The whole thing is a very stressful and painful state. It is completely immersed in the negative, pessimistic, and passive emotions. In fact, it is a very negative state for feelings. If you don't have an optimistic and positive attitude to look at the emotions between 2 people, you may want to agree with your heart. But in fact, you yourself, you are indulging in some negative emotions, feeling like it's impossible for the 2 of you, and the other person's attitude is so cold. I think it's impossible for us to get back together. There's no hope, right? You will think this way. In fact, you really want to agree in your heart. But what you show, or you're always affected by the other party. The state of the other party affects you. You feel that it is impossible for 2 people. You look very pessimistic, too negative, too negative. In this negative and pessimistic situation, you simply can't mobilize your enthusiasm. It belongs to the kind of thinking in the mind. You can't do anything. You can't do anything at all. You have no motivation at all, or you don't know how to do it. Because the other party is completely in a state of resisting communication, you don't know how to do it at all. This situation might occur because the other party might also be in a painful state. So in this case, if you want to make a breakthrough, if you want to really solve the problem between 2 people, The first thing is to restore the communication between the two. To restore the real depth of communication between two people and solve problems, the first thing to do is to improve the state between you. Let each other's state be more positive, more positive. Clean up the negative emotions that exist between you. This is the most important point.